My girlfriend's text at midnight. I need to be honest. I'm still in love with my ex. I can't help it. After 2 years together. I replied, thanks for telling me. She said, so you understand? When I sent her the screenshots of her ex's wedding invitation to marry her best friend next month, her love suddenly became convenient timing. I, 28 male, got the text at 11:47 p.m. last Tuesday. Was half asleep, scrolling through my phone before passing out after a long day at work. Then my screen lit up with a message from my girlfriend of 2 years. Hey, I need to be honest with you about something. I've been thinking a lot lately, and I realized I'm still in love with my ex. I can't help it. I've tried to fight it, but the feelings never went away. I read it 3 times. Blinked. Read it again. 2 years. 2 years of building something I thought was real. Vacations together, meeting each other's families, talking about moving in next spring. And she drops this via text at midnight, like she's canceling a Netflix subscription. Here's what she didn't know. I already knew about her ex. More specifically, I knew why she was suddenly realizing her feelings for him. See, 3 days earlier, I'd gotten a wedding invitation in the mail. Not addressed to me directly. It was forwarded from my buddy who works with her ex's fiancé. The fiancé? My girlfriend's best friend since college. Her best friend. And they were getting married in 5 weeks. I've been sitting on this information, wondering if my girlfriend would bring it up. She hadn't mentioned the wedding at all. Not a word. Which was weird, right? Your best friend gets engaged, and you don't tell your boyfriend of 2 years? Unless you're too busy having a crisis about the groom. So when I got that midnight text about her undying love for her ex, the pieces clicked together real fast. I typed back, thanks for telling me. Her response came immediately. So you understand? I knew you would. You're such a good person. I just need some time to figure things out. Maybe we can talk about it tomorrow. Translation. She wanted to keep me on standby while she processed her jealousy about her ex marrying someone else. Probably figured she'd work through her feelings, realize the ex wasn't coming back, and slide back into our comfortable relationship like nothing happened. Nah, I screenshot the wedding invitation. The one with her best friend's name and her ex's name in elegant calligraphy. The one announcing their joyous union in 5 weeks. I sent it to her with one line. Interesting timing on the feelings. When were you going to tell me about this? 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. This went on for about 2 minutes. Finally, where did you get that? Does it matter? Your best friend is marrying your ex next month, and suddenly you're still in love with him? That's not love. That's jealousy. You don't understand. It's complicated. It's really not. You found out he's marrying someone else, someone close to you, and now you can't stand it. That's not about loving him. That's about not wanting anyone else to have him. That's not fair. Neither is telling your boyfriend of 2 years that you love someone else because you're having a tantrum about a wedding. She called me. I declined. She called again. Declined. Please just talk to me. I know how this looks, but it's not like that. Me? Then what is it like? Explain how finding out your ex is marrying your best friend suddenly makes you realize you're still in love with him after 2 years of supposedly being over it. Long pause. Then, I didn't know how to process it. Finding out hurt more than I expected. I thought telling you meant I was being honest. You weren't being honest. You were using me as emotional support while you figure out if you can sabotage the wedding. I would never. Wouldn't you? You hid the engagement from me for days. You didn't tell me your feelings until after you'd had time to spiral. And you're still not actually breaking up with me. You want time to figure things out. That means you want to keep me around as backup. Silence. We're done, I said. I'm not anyone's second choice, and I'm definitely not your safety net while you chase a guy who's literally marrying someone else. You can't just end 2 years over one text. You just told me you love another man. What exactly am I supposed to do with that? I hung up, blocked her number, went to sleep, thought it was over. It was absolutely not over. Update 1, 5 days later. The first few days were quiet. I figured she'd gotten the message. I was wrong. Day 3, her sister showed up at my apartment. I'd met her a few times. Nice enough woman, very protective of her younger sibling. She knocked on my door at 7 p.m. while I was making dinner. We need to talk about what you did to my sister. What I did. She told me she loves her ex. She was confused. She found out about the wedding and panicked. That's a normal reaction. A normal reaction is telling your boyfriend, "Hey, I just found out something upsetting." Not texting him at midnight that you're in love with someone else. You're being cruel. She's devastated. She devastated herself. I didn't make her send that text. Her sister crossed her arms. You need to at least hear her out. Give her a chance to explain. She had a chance. She chose to tell me she loves another man. What's to explain? It's not that simple. It literally is. She had 2 years to work through whatever feeling she had about her ex. She didn't. Instead, she waited until he was completely unavailable and then decided to blow up our relationship over it. Her sister didn't have a response to that. She left with some muttering about me being cold and unforgiving. Day 4, my girlfriend's best friend, the best friend, the one marrying the ex, reached out to me. DM on Instagram. "Hey, I heard what happened. I'm so sorry. I had no idea she still had feelings for him. This must be really awkward for everyone. I'll be honest, this threw me. Why was the bride-to-be apologizing to me?" I replied, "Not your fault. Congrats on the engagement, BTW. Thanks. Listen, I know this is weird, but can we talk? There's some stuff you should probably know." We met for coffee the next morning, and that's when things got interesting. Turns out my girlfriend and her ex had broken up 4 years ago after dating for about a year. The breakup was messy. He caught her texting another guy, pattern anyone. After they split, my girlfriend spent the next year trying to get him back. Showing up at his apartment, texting constantly, the whole thing. He finally had to block her. Her best friend started dating him about a year after that. My girlfriend acted supportive publicly, but privately made her friend's life difficult. Passive-aggressive comments, forgetting plans, making everything about her own pain. She's been weird about it since we got engaged, her friend said, not congratulating me, changing the subject whenever it comes up. I thought she was just adjusting. I didn't realize she was planning to, I don't know, make some big romantic gesture or something. Big romantic gesture? She looked uncomfortable. She texted me the night before she texted you. Asked if I was sure about marrying him. Said maybe we should talk about some things before the wedding. My jaw dropped. She tried to break up your engagement. Not successfully, but yeah. February 3rd, I told her I was sure and she needed to respect my relationship. Then I guess she texted you. So let me get this straight. My girlfriend tried to sabotage her best friend's wedding, failed, and then decided to confess her love to me. As what, a consolation prize? A backup plan when Operation Break Up the Wedding didn't work? I thanked her friend for the info. She apologized again, said she felt terrible that I'd gotten caught in the middle. I told her it wasn't her fault. The only person responsible for my girlfriend's choices was my girlfriend. Day 5, my now ex showed up at my apartment. I didn't let her in. "I know you talked to her," she said through the door. She told me. Good. Then you know I know everything. It's not what you think. You try to break up your best friend's engagement. And when that didn't work, you confess to me as some kind of, what? Emotional hostage situation? If you can't have him, you'll blow up everything. I was hurting. Yeah. And instead of dealing with your hurt like an adult, you tried to destroy 2 relationships. Congrats. Please just let me explain. 5 minutes. Against my better judgment, I opened the door. She looked rough. Red eyes, messy hair, clearly hadn't been sleeping well. For half a second, I felt bad. Then I remembered what she'd done. 5 minutes. She came in and sat on my couch like she still belonged there. I know I messed up. I know the timing looks bad. But my feelings for him are real. They never went away. I thought I was over him. I really did. Then when I found out about the wedding, it all came rushing back. So you decided to sabotage your best friend's relationship. I just asked her if she was sure. That's not sabotage. You asked the bride if she was sure about marrying the groom a month before the wedding, after years of being passive-aggressive about their relationship. That's absolutely sabotage. She started crying. I didn't know what else to do. It hurts so much watching them together. Then why didn't you work through it? Get therapy? Talk to literally anyone except the bride and your current boyfriend? I'm talking to you now. No, you're doing damage control because you got caught. There's a difference. I want us to work this out. I know I made a mistake, but we have 2 years together. That has to mean something. I looked at her for a long moment. 2 years. All those memories. All those plans. And she was willing to throw it all away over a guy who'd blocked her and moved on years ago. It meant something to me, I said. Apparently, it meant nothing to you since you were willing to blow it up the second you saw a wedding invitation. That's not fair. Neither is any of this. We're done. Please leave. She didn't leave. Not right away. She argued, cried, begged. Said she'd get therapy. Said she'd cut contact with both of them. Said she'd do whatever it took. I stayed firm. You told me you love someone else. You can't unring that bell. And honestly, even if you could, I wouldn't trust you. This wasn't a moment of weakness. This was a pattern. You've been obsessing over this guy for years. I was just a placeholder until he became available. He's not available. He's marrying her. And that's the only reason you're here, trying to fix things with me. If he'd been single when you found out about your feelings, you'd have gone running to him. I'm nobody's backup. She finally left around midnight. I changed my locks the next day, just in case she still had a key. But she wasn't done. Not even close. Update 2. 2 weeks later. The wedding was approaching, and my ex was spiraling. First came the mutual friends. People we'd known as a couple started reaching out, clearly fed her version of events. The story she was telling? I'd overreacted to a moment of vulnerability and abandoned her when she needed support. Funny how I love my ex became a moment of vulnerability in the retelling. Most of our mutual friends were reasonable once I explained the full picture. The wedding sabotage attempt, the pattern of behavior, the fact that she'd hidden the engagement from me for days. A few stuck with her narrative, but honestly, those weren't people I needed in my life anyway. Then came the financial stuff. We'd never lived together officially, but over 2 years, things had gotten mixed. She had a key to my place, changed that. We'd split costs on a few things, normal couple stuff. Nothing legally binding. But she decided she was owed money. Her sister texted me a list. A list of things my ex had contributed to our relationship and wanted compensation for. Half the cost of a weekend trip we took last year for $100. A coffee maker she'd bought for my apartment, $85. Various dinners she'd paid for, estimated at $600. Emotional labor, no dollar amount, just listed. I screenshot the list, sent it to a lawyer friend. He laughed and said she had no legal standing for any of it. Gifts are gifts, shared experiences aren't debts. I replied to her sister, tell her she can pick up the coffee maker. That's it. The coffee maker pickup became an event. She showed up with her sister and her mom. 3 against 1. They marched up to my door like they were staging an intervention. We're here for her belongings, her mom announced. She has a coffee maker here. That's it. She left other things too. Clothes, toiletries. She never officially lived here. Any clothes she left behind are in this bag. I handed over a garbage bag with some shirts and a pair of jeans. Toiletries went in the trash since I'm not storing expired face wash for someone who doesn't live here. Her mom looked like I'd slapped her. You threw away her things? I threw away travel-size shampoo and a crusty mascara. Not exactly a war crime. My ex stood behind her mom, not saying anything, just staring at me with this mix of anger and hurt. Her sister stepped up. You could at least be civil. I'm being civil. Civil means giving you the stuff and asking you to leave. Uncivil would be what your sister did, trying to break up a wedding and then using me as an emotional dumping ground. She made a mistake. She made a choice. Several choices. All bad. I don't owe her anything except the items she left at my apartment, which I'm providing. Are we done? They took the coffee maker and the bag of clothes. Her mom muttered about me being heartless as they left. My ex finally spoke as they were walking away. I hope you know you're ruining your own life by not forgiving me. My life's doing great, actually. Thanks for the concern. That could have been the end. Should have been the end. But the wedding was still coming, and my ex had one more play. Final update. 3 weeks later, night before the wedding. I found out what happened through her former best friend, who called me the night before her wedding in tears. My ex had sent a letter to the groom. Her ex, the one she'd been in love with for 4 years. She sent it to his office so his fiancée wouldn't intercept it. The letter was 3 pages of what could have been, and I've never stopped loving you. And are you sure you're making the right choice? It included photos from their relationship 4 years ago. It ended with her phone number and an invitation to talk before you make a permanent decision. How do I know the contents? Because the groom, being a decent human, immediately showed it to his fiancée, my ex's former best friend. He wanted zero secrets going into the marriage. His fiancée was devastated. Not because she doubted him. He'd proven his loyalty by showing her immediately. But because her supposed best friend had tried to torpedo her wedding with a desperate hail, marry the day before the ceremony. She called me crying. I don't know what to do. The wedding's tomorrow. I've already spent $30,000 on this. My whole family's flying in. Go through with it, I said. Don't let her win. She doesn't get to control your happiness. But everyone will ask where she is. She was supposed to be a bridesmaid. My MWH. I'd forgotten that part. My ex wasn't just attending the wedding. She was eyeing the wedding party. Maid of honor, apparently. Which made the sabotage attempt even more insane. Kick her out, I said. Publicly or privately, your choice. But she can't stand next to you while you marry the guy she just sent a love letter to. She'll make a scene. She's already making scenes. At least this way you control the narrative. She took my advice. Sort of. The morning of the wedding, she sent my ex a text. Your services as MOH are no longer needed. Please don't come to the ceremony. I've seen the letter. We're done. My ex's response? She showed up anyway. According to multiple sources who were there, this became legendary in their social circle. My ex arrived at the venue in a white dress. Not off-white. Not cream. White. Like she was the bride. The groom's brother spotted her first and blocked her at the door. She tried to push past, claiming she needed to support her friend. He wasn't having it. You sent a love letter to the groom yesterday. You're wearing white to the wedding. You're not supporting anyone except your own ego. She made a scene, crying, yelling about how she deserved to be there, and they were overreacting. The venue security had to escort her out. She sat in the parking lot for an hour before her sister came to pick her up. The wedding went on without her. From what I heard, it was beautiful. The bride cried happy tears. The groom's vows made everyone emotional. They did their first dance to some song that had been their song since they started dating. My ex watched none of it. She was at home, posting vague quotes about fake friends and people who don't understand real love. Here's where the consequences really kicked in. Her former best friend cut her off completely. No contact, blocked everywhere, removed from all group chats. 20 years of friendship, gone because my ex couldn't handle someone else being happy. The mutual friends who'd been sympathetic to her story, they'd all heard about the wedding incident by Monday. Showing up in white to a wedding you try to sabotage is the kind of thing that spreads through social circles like wildfire. The narrative shifted real fast from she made a mistake to she's actually unhinged. Her family was mortified. Her mom called her an embarrassment in a family group chat that got screenshot and shared. Not by me, I wasn't even in it. Her sister stopped defending her. And the ex she'd been in love with? He released a statement to their mutual friends. Not a public post, just a message to the people who knew both of them. For the record, I've been over this for 4 years. I blocked her because she wouldn't leave me alone. Finding out she's been carrying this torch the whole time, including trying to break up my wedding, is disturbing. I hope she gets help. Not exactly a romantic vindication. As for me, I got a text from her about a week after the wedding disaster. From a new number since I'd blocked the old one. I know you think I'm crazy. Maybe I am. But I want you to know I really did love you. I just love him more. I'm sorry that hurts you. I read it once. Didn't respond. Block that number too. Here's the thing. She probably believes that. She probably genuinely thinks she loved me while also loving him more. But that's not how love works. You don't string someone along for 2 years while pining for someone else. You don't use your partner as emotional scaffolding while you try to blow up other people's relationships. What she felt for me was comfort, safety, a backup plan. And what she felt for him wasn't love either. It was obsession, jealousy, the inability to accept that someone she'd lost had moved on and found happiness with someone else. Real love doesn't show up in a white dress to sabotage a wedding. I'm not dating anyone right now. Probably won't for a while. The trust thing is going to take some time to rebuild. But I'm okay. Actually okay, not just saying it. My therapist, I started seeing one after all this, says I did the right thing by trusting my instincts. The midnight text was a red flag, and instead of trying to explain it away or work through it, I recognized it for what it was, the end. Sometimes relationships don't end with a bang. Sometimes they end with a text at midnight and a wedding invitation that reveals exactly who someone really is. She wanted me to understand her feelings. I did. I understood that her feelings had nothing to do with me. Never did, really. I was just there, convenient, until someone she wanted more became unavailable. Thanks for reading this mess. Time to move forward.